welcome to the ShowRatings.tv Pilot Roundtable, a Southgate Media Group podcast. My name is Kyle Tremblay, and I'm the editor-in-chief at ShowRatings.tv, a user-driven television review website. You can rate and review all your favorite shows at www.showratings.tv, including the new series we're talking about today, Red Band Society. According to Fox's website, Red Band Society is a provocative, unconventional, and unique coming-of-age dramedy about a group of rule-bending friends and the adults who mentor them through the ups and downs of adolescence in Los Angeles' Ocean Park Hospital. Here to talk about Red Band Society is a ShowRatings.tv writer and social media guru, Ricky Diaz. Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Well, Ricky, a few months ago, you and I talked about all the pilot, all the
saying that, saying that.
Yeah.
The last time I was on, when you introduced me, you said probably mourning the loss of Community. In that time,
I have to eat my words. It's Community revived from the dead.
Well, until they can cancel it again, but still.
Yes, it's like the Headless Horseman, or it's like Ichabod Crane in Sleepy Hollow. Just yes. it keeps coming back. You never know when he's gone. But I'm happy for you now. I should say I should have introduced you as celebrating the return of Community.
There we
go. So on Red Band Society, we talked about all these Fox pilots a few months ago during your community morning, and this is one I think we agreed on, based on the trailer, did not look to be targeted at the demographic that you and I are in. But now that you've actually seen the pilot, what did you think of Red Band Society?
I'm still not really sure about it. Like, it's that kind of weird, it's trying to be a bit adulty, but at the same time, it's still very aimed at like the teenage, young adult market.
Very Glee, I felt like, in terms of the audience, right?
Yes, very Glee. It's I think we made that. I made that comparison.
Yeah, you did.
Because obviously they get Glee's getting cancelled it's finishing this year,
ending its
and it seems like they're trying to find something new to kind of get that replacement in, and they're trying it with Red Band Society.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. The group of teenagers who have all kinds of romances and all that. It's that kind of show, and this one just happens to be set in a hospital, which I found a little bit problematic in terms of the mechanics of how this hospital works.
Yes,
right?
Yes, very much so. They're just running roughshod around this hospital, and no one really cares.
At one point, a child who has cancer and whose leg will be amputated the following morning. So, within 15 hours, this kid's cancerous leg is going to be amputated.
Oh, no, let's just say he walks into the hospital and pretty much just demands that this guy cut off his leg. And then the guy's just like, well, you won't take no for an answer. And he's like, well, no, I won't.
The operation happens the following day.
Yes.
So this kid, not a patient at the hospital, never met anyone at the hospital is like...
Oh, wait, it's not even just that. It's the fact that he's kind of run away from home to go to this hospital from Mexico.
Gets a meeting, cons his way into a face-to-face meeting with the doctor, and in a 45-second conversation, arranges to have his leg amputated the following day. But so this kid, in the time between when that occurs and the actual amputation, sneaks out with other patients and buys liquor from a liquor store.
Yeah, and the reason being, we're trying to get the handicapped kid laid.
Yes. I mean, the state...
And the guy's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's like the real reason, by the way. That's the reason that the show gives. That's not us reading into it. That is, I mean, the idea that this is a hospital is baffling. This is a summer camp.
Yeah.
Where this is treated.
And, there's guys who's letting them take other doctors. There's a valet who's letting them take other doctors' cars so they can get out just because he doesn't get a tip. It's just... some of it is ridiculous, but...
It does not reflect well upon the in which it occurs. Having said that... there were 2 or 3 moments in this pilot that I found genuinely affecting. That I thought were aw kind of moments. The problem is, the pilot attempted to create those moments 30 or 35 times.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 of them I thought worked, but the batting average is really low. Uh, did you? I mean, what did you think? Like in terms of like the, just did anything about this work for you?
I don't know. It's like they're trying to take bits and pieces from other teeny kind of shows. So
Mhm.
they've got, the Glee kind of aspect of them being like outsiders and lots of different groups of people who somehow bond and become
Yeah,
friends in this one episode, even though some of them have known each other for a long time. You've
yeah.
got the weird Dawson's Creek style character who just he's very ahead of his time in the way that he
You,
words and phrases things.
oh,
Yeah.
are you referring to him quoting poetry? The
Yes.
roof.
And giving away just some of it, like giving like
Really?
the
Oh,
bit where he's giving away his
oh
red bands,
gosh, that
and I was just like, "Are you dying? Like,
yeah.
are you
What?
literally gonna die at the end of this episode?" Because
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me.
yeah, and you mentioned about this all happening in one episode, and that was what I kept thinking is that
Yeah.
th- they could have gotten 8 episodes worth of like big moments out of
Yes.
what occurs in this one episode. And I mean like that moment of him giving away his bracelets could have been really powerful if it had occurred like in the season finale. You know,
Yeah.
if we had built to that. But
Yes.
for that to occur like in terms of screen time, probably 36 minutes into the pilot
Yeah. Yeah.
is ludicrous. Like how are we supposed to feel that moment when we barely know these characters? As far as we're concerned, the cheerleader is history's greatest monster. I mean, she is an awful human being
Oh,
to a degree that's just like staggering.
it's true because you can't empathize with like well you can, but for the most part they're just stock characters and you
Yes,
know where they're gonna go, but that's the whole point of it. It's the journey of getting to that, and that would have been a great ending to
to a
what
season.
probably yeah.
Right, to a season. And if the pilot I think would have just slowed down a bit and
Yeah.
maybe just limited to one moving montage set to Coldplay. Just keep it at one. Can we do that? Like it's like do we need to have like I felt like every act in this pilot had like 3 sequences that could have been like the final act of the episode where Coldplay blares. Like it
Yeah.
was just like it was exhausting going from one to another where like we're supposed to feel all of this.
Mm.
And even though I thought like a couple of them worked on some level, just on a sort of visceral level, you know, I mean it's a show about children who are in a hospital falling in love with each other. You're gonna you're gonna stumble onto some moments of like that make you feel something, but by and large, I found this a little bit insulting in just like the way it expects you to just go along for the ride.
Yeah.
And, like like this pilot like expects you to be like crying while you're laughing for all
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I don't know. It's just that it doesn't seem to know like what it's trying to say because it's told from the narration of this kid in a coma.
Oh gosh.
But at the whole time, you're following this ensemble group of kids, and he's just like, there, and every now and then he just pipes in with like, the words of encouragement or like,
Yeah.
summing everything up. But
Well, no, words of encouragement. We should mention he is in a coma, but he can communicate at
yes,
times with these kids, which that's not how comas work.
well, I think obviously at least once an episode, someone is going to,
Go into
have a heart attack or
yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
and they're all going to talk to him at one
Enter
point.
enter the fantasy palace that this kid,
Yes.
his coma palace. They get welcomed in with like a guest pass,
But
as
of
the,
course, like he's well above them and they can't really see him and they always have to look up at him because
yeah.
obviously he's going to heaven.
What what was the deal? Like
Yeah,
I just don't. It's like we're introducing like a supernatural element now. Like
yeah,
I just don't. I mean, it just seems like a way to again to sort of manipulate the audience's
yeah,
feelings and try to get us to feel more than this show is really worth. And
yeah.
I really wish because I think that there's. I mean, again. Kids in a hospital falling in love. Like you take that premise, it's like you could do a lot with that. You know,
Mm.
like The Fault in Our Stars was just a huge hit, and
Yeah,
it's like this isn't. This is a decent formula we got here, and
yeah.
it's just they just ramped it up so fast that it really I think didn't take advantage of what could have been an
Yeah.
interesting premise.
Yeah, it's like Sleepy Hollow. Like Sleepy Hollow has those kind of oh my God kind of moments, but
Yes.
they're peppered throughout the season. Like
Yes.
every season has one big thing. Every episode has one big thing which kind of hooks you in, and the rest of it's based on the characters and that big oh my God moment. Whereas this one seems like it's more all oh my God moments
Yes.
or, trying to make you feel moments with the characters as a background for those moments.
Yeah. Exactly. It almost felt like a Ryan Murphy show to me, like the way
Yeah,
that New Normal or American Horror Story feels, where in trying to make every moment feel like the biggest moment, it ends up flatlining because it's just if the emotional chart of your series is a just a string of mountains, then eventually it's just flat. If,
yeah,
if everything is a mountain, then it's flat. Like the reason that
yeah,
emotional shows work and that moments land is because relative to the rest of the hour, there's such a peak or such a valley, and I just feel like this show doesn't have an understanding of how to make moments land, and so it just
yeah,
throws everything at the wall. And even if a
and
couple of them stick,
hopes.
it's mostly just tiring. Yeah.
Yeah,
so, all right. So Ricky, we already made the comparison to Glee. I think that's the
yeah.
right comparison here. Do you have any other shows that you would say, like current shows or former shows that you'd say this is like if someone's thinking about checking it out?
No, at the
Yeah.
moment, like that's the only one that comes into my head.
Yeah, Glee minus the singing
Yeah,
set in a
yeah,
hospital. That's this show.
yeah.
So
Essentially, yeah,
I have confidence that there is a demographic that this show will appeal to
oh
quite a
yeah.
bit, right?
I
There's
think they'll pick up the Glee audience for. I think they'll pick up like a bit of the Glee audience for that.
yeah, they won't get, I mean the musical aspect they
Yeah,
won't get, but there is this just the audience that likes, soapy stuff and doesn't really discern, and which is
I think the
fine.
whole over the topness of it all and some
Yes.
of that will catch some of the
Yeah.
gleeks.
Maybe if you like soap operas, it would,
Yeah.
like especially if you like the idea of a soap opera starring children in a hospital, that's
Mm,
that would be a good audience for you. Like the kind of where it's
yeah.
just emotion, emotion for the sake of emotion. This definitely goes for that.
Yeah.
So, final verdict: Ricky Diaz, Red Band Society, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I think I'm gonna have to go thumbs down.
I am too.
Yes.
Starting the 2014-2015 TV season with a pair of thumbs down.
Yes.
um,
Also,
mhm.
can we have like a ticker tape or like a chart of how many times in every pilot that we watch there will be the phrase "I threw up in my mouth" because
Oh,
that came up and I was just like, oh my God, this is everything.
we didn't get to the language. There was so much about this that was off. We didn't even
Maybe
talk about the dialogue.
maybe it's just because I feel so old,
Yeah,
but
no,
kids
no.
saying cray cray, YOLO,
E-
TMI,
oh my god.
and some of the dialogue just comes out of nowhere. Like they're having like this little moment. The greasy sidekick. Sorry, that's all I can describe him as. The kid who's gonna get his leg chopped
Yes.
off. Like he's so greasy, but him and the anorexic girl, smart girl, they're talking. Then all of a sudden he just stops and he goes, "Can we dance?" And
Oh my
it
god.
just comes out of nowhere.
That
And
again,
oh
that's a season finale moment. That's not a
yeah,
pilot moment. You
yeah,
don't have the quietly dancing to your iPod alone in your hospital room moment
yeah,
30 minutes into the pilot.
yeah.
Like that's
And
yeah. But
I can't even get started on the African American kid who
we're not,
obviously
we're not
can't
going to
have
talk about that kid. We're not going to talk about that kid.
can't have a real name. He has to have like a nickname. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
oh,
again, this is a show about teenagers that is written by someone who has not interacted with a teenager since they were a teenager 25 years ago. Like this is a show that is about teenage culture that has no familiarity with teenage culture, which is a theme, by the way,
yeah.
based on the other pilots I've seen this season, that we're going to hit on a lot in the pilot roundtable. So, all right, Ricky, what can
Oh, sorry. There's one more bit I've got to bring up,
go
which I
for it? Go for
found hilarious. So the bitchy teenager is talking to anorexic girl. They're talking about how
it.
she has
Yes,
her own private chef, and
yes.
so anorexic girl's like, go on, have something to eat. And after going on about having a private chef, there's this nice sandwich in front of her. The first thing she goes for is cereal.
Yeah.
because obviously, you know, the private chef had to make that. But yeah, that was it. I just
He poured that
laughed,
milk
but-
really expertly.
yeah.
No, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, there's a lot going on here that
Yeah.
question the plausibility of the premise.
Yeah.
All right. So where can people find you online, Ricky?
Ricky on Twitter. Ricky at Ricky Loves TV. RICKY.
All right. And what are you going to be covering for show ratings here this coming season?
I believe I'm doing Community when it comes back eventually, of
Yes.
course, and The Flash, and possibly Arrow if I can find enough time, but Flash at least.
Definitely The Flash. All right.
Yes.
We'll look forward to that. And that concludes this episode of the ShowRatings.tv Pilot Roundtable. We invite you to check out this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts at southgatemediagroup.com and to read about, rate, and discuss all your favorite shows at ShowRatings.tv. You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle Loves TV, Ricky at Ricky Loves TV, and Show Ratings at Show Ratings TV. Until next time, this has been Kyle Tremblay. Thanks for listening.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.